Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Wednesday morning, the 2nd of July. And we're hopping over the big pond to Canada today, to Nova Scotia, to the case of missing siblings, 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan from Lansdowne Station. I've not talked about Jack and Lily's case for a couple of days now. There's been a lot of news this week. The biggest news, I think, is Bryan Kohberger, if anybody's following the quadruple murder of the 4 University of Idaho students from November 2022. Well, the case was due to go to trial in just a month's time, and then Bryan Kohberger came out and wanted to change his plea. So today at 6 p.m. my time, which is 11 a.m. Mountain time, there will be the change of plea hearing. And yes, it is real. It's all there on the court docket now. If I can, I will live stream it so that we can comment on it together. It's going to be very interesting. However, I'm having someone come to my house this afternoon between 1 and 6 to give me, finally, full fibre broadband. So hopefully my internet will be a little bit better because I live out in the sticks. So having full fibre broadband, it's like, whoa. So if they come like at 6 or just before 6, I'm not going to have any internet for a while. So there's that. But if I can, I'll stream it. So look out for the scheduler if you're interested in that case and my opinions on it. All right. So without further ado, Jack and Lilly, it's 2 months today since the siblings were last seen. Well, actually, the last independent proof of life we have is the 1st of May, so the afternoon before they were reported missing. They're on surveillance camera, the whole family, Malaya, Daniel, Jack, Lilly and baby Meadow. They're all on surveillance camera in a town nearby. And then Malaya reported Jack and Lilly missing around 10 a.m. on May the 2nd, so it's 2 months today. And we've had precious little in recent weeks from the RCMP. When they update, they only give us little tiny nuggets. They say everything's still on the table. They say they're still investigating. It's not a cold case, but they don't give us specifics. The specifics that we know and have been discussing as possible facts are coming from friends and family. So we've had, let's think about it. We've had Daniel's cousin, Logan, coming out talking. We've had Durwood stroke Darren, who is Malaya's grandma's cousin. So Malaya's first cousin twice removed. So an extended family member who's been speaking to Daniel and Daniel's mother, Janie, who lives in the RV on the property. So she doesn't live in the trailer with Daniel. She lives in this little RV thing with her dog. Janie herself, though, hasn't spoken. We only know what Janie saw and heard, allegedly, via Darren. Interestingly, we've had Jack and Lily's paternal grandmother coming out speaking, someone called BELYNDA. She did an interview with CBC News, and she's been on the channel It's a Crime and Shame a few times. I went back to listen to this live stream from a few days ago, and there's something in here that I completely missed the first time round. I remember hearing it, but the possible significance of it didn't really register with me at all. So I'm glad I went back to listen to what BELYNDA had to say again. But there's one thing that was like, whoa, on this 2 months mark, it's worth circling back and listening to those little things that we missed the first time round. Let's go. All right, so this is concerning Janie and what BELYNDA heard Janie saying on the 3rd of May, so the day after Lilly and Jack were reported missing, Belinda and her sister went to help with the search. Reminder, Belinda is Cody's mother, Cody being the biological father of Jack and Lilly. He's not involved at all. But Belinda told Malia in a bunch of text messages on the 2nd of May, just after they reported missing, that she'd come, if they weren't found, she'd come on May the 3rd. And she did, and she went a total of 3 times. But this is what she heard from Janie on May the 3rd. So we're going to start off at the 12-minute mark, so very early on in this live stream, and then we're going to hop it all over to late on in the live stream where Belinda brings this topic up again.
There was a policewoman standing there, and the policewoman was talking to them. We couldn't make out what she was saying until we got up closer. And Janie was really crying a lot. And this woman was saying to her, "It's okay, Mom. They're not blaming you. They just want to look in your trailer. They're not blaming you. They just need to make sure that there's nothing in the trailer." And she went on to say that there was nothing in the trailer. She didn't want them around her dog. And the policewoman told her that she was impeding an investigation and she would have to get a search warrant. And then I thought, well, we'll just continue on into the trailer. That was the only thing I found just a little strange, that I was wondering what that was all about. When I got inside the trailer and after I had hugged Malaya, I took to crying. Now, I didn't notice because I wasn't watching, but my sister stated that she noticed Malaya wasn't crying at all. She didn't have any tears.
Okay, so Malaya could have been in just complete shock, just could have been, totally numb about the whole thing. Now, the thing about Janie is Janie has been Darren's informant. So the stuff that Durwood has been saying, which is really interesting, really thought-provoking, that Janie saw Malia early in the morning on the driveway. And this would have been shortly after Jack and Lilly were picked up by one of Malia's friends and taken to an undisclosed location. And it's why Malia isn't outwardly upset. All right, it's very thought-provoking. And it's still there in the possible box in my brain. Everything is there in the possible box in my brain because I can't discount anything at the moment. I just can't discount anything. And Daniel has been saying stuff that supports Durwood's claims. But here's the thing. Janie did not want the cops searching her trailer, so the little RV. She didn't want them in there because of her dog, because her dog barks. Now, we've heard a bit from various people who've been to the property about the dog. Some say that, yeah, the dog barks, and Durwood says he's like some kind of little Yorkie mix, but he's a bit of a barker, and other people have said, well, he doesn't bark that much. Listen, if your step-grandkids are missing, why don't you just take the dog out of the trailer? I don't know, take the dog for a walk or something while the police are checking your trailer. You don't need to have the dog there stressed out and barking, flipping his lid. Just take him out of the trailer and take him for a walk. Or get someone to take him for a walk. Or put him in a vehicle while they're searching. It's hardly going to take long to search an RV, is it? It's not like a 10-bedroom mansion, is it? It's an RV. It's not going to take them that long to search it. But she didn't want them in there, and the policewoman said, well, we're going to have to get a search warrant. So they would have searched the RV. They would have. I don't know whether they needed to get a search warrant, but they would have. It just looks dodgy and, yeah, impeding an investigation. But we're going to skip now to the 1 hour 50 mark and listen to what Belinda says here. She circles back to it.
Right away, when we pulled up, I had recognized the trailer because we had made many trips to New Glasgow, and I've often seen the trailer. I didn't have a clue that's where Malaya lived. And I feel so bad now because we could have stopped in so many times.
Well, we've heard from Malaya talking to Belinda in text messages that Daniel didn't want Malaya visiting Belinda, taking the children to visit their grandma, and also he didn't want Belinda on his property. Why? Don't know. Was it a sign of a controlling relationship? Possibly. But let's carry on listening.
My sister and I get out and we start walking to the trailer, and that's where I seen Janie sitting down, and I wish I could remember, but I can't, who the woman was sitting beside her, and there was a policewoman standing up, and they were talking. Pardon me?
Was it the psychic, Belinda?
No, I think the psychic was Cindy,
No,
but
she,
it was probably your sister.
She
Miriam.
called Janie Mum.
By the way, there's no echo anymore.
Oh, she called. Okay, she called Janie Mum because she said, "Mum, it's okay. They're not blaming you."
Okay, so we're back to the woman that Belinda doesn't know the ID of, trying to persuade Janie that it was okay for the cops to search the trailer. Now, we heard that she didn't want them to search the trailer, the RV, because of her dog. But there's another reason.
Not stating that you did anything wrong. It's okay. They just want to look in the trailer so they can rule it out. They just need to check the trailer. And she was going on saying no. She didn't want them to look at something. I can't remember what it was. It was a cupboard or something. And she said about her dog.
So, what? I remember hearing that, but I didn't. It didn't register. I was concentrating on the dog. But Janie didn't want them to search her RV because of a cupboard. She didn't want them looking in a cupboard. Okay, so is it a small cupboard? Is it a big cupboard? Is it a cupboard big enough to put 2 little kids in? Do you see where I'm going with this? That Janie's being Durwood's informant, blaming Malia. Well, what if that was a ruse? You know, it reminds me of, remember the 2 Springer Spaniels in the Madeleine McCann case? I think it was Eddie that was the human remains dog. Keela was the blood dog, I think. Alerting on the cupboard in the apartment. Now, the thing here, in this case, they've never brought in cadaver dogs. It's not necessarily about cadaver dogs searching the woods. It's about running a cadaver dog through the property. Because there might not be any signs of blood or human tissue or anything like that. But if Jack and Lily had died for whatever reason, and maybe their bodies were put in a cupboard for a short space of time before they could decide what to do with them. Do you see where I'm going with this? Why did she not want them looking in the cupboard? Or is it completely innocent? Does she have some, I don't know, substances in there or something? I don't know whether she takes substances. I'm sure that cupboard was searched. I don't think Jack and Lily are in the cupboard. But what if they'd been in the cupboard? Look, I'm going to leave it there. But I'm just highlighting that there's a cupboard involved in Janie's reluctance to let them search her RV. It's not all about her dog. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Again, I might be live later if my broadband is fine and up and running and the man who's installing whatever cable he needs to install has gone. Let's play that one by ear. Thanks for watching, and by the way, I'm such a rubbish YouTuber, I always forget. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I've got 6 months. I think I can do it. I hit 91,000 subscribers yesterday, so I've only got 9,000 to go. So please, if you're not subscribed, and I know a lot of people who watch my videos are not subscribed, I'd be closer to 200,000 subscribers if everybody who watched my videos subscribed. It's completely free. You just click the subscribe button. It's as simple as that. So help me out and subscribe if you've not done so already. Alright, that's it. Gotta go. See you soon. Bye, guys. Come on, sir.